It's revenge time. I think it's been 1.5 days you guys have been asking questions, right? To anybody who's been on stage here, either through the iPad or directly, and I saw you all trying to roast poor Indrajit and Numi when they were on stage. So it's my turn now, right? But the payoff is good. Just to tell you a little bit about this quiz, it's very simple. It's 25 questions. You get 10 seconds to answer each question. That's all. Why 10 seconds? Because we think the net is not so fast that you can access Google in 10 seconds. That's why it's only 10 seconds. So if you're going to ask your partner to access Google, he has to be very fast with his fingers, right, to access it in 10 seconds and get the answer. If your answer doesn't come within the stipulated 10 seconds, it is not counted. You can still file in your answer on the app. Please go ahead and do it. You can take your time, 15, 20, 30 seconds. Please file the answer, but it won't get counted for the correct answers. And so quickly, just to, can we have the, thank you. So it's the, Vasant tells me it's the most exciting part of OAC. So I'm happy, Vasant. Thank you for the opportunity for hosting the quiz. I enjoyed setting the questions for this quiz. Some of the questions you will find ridiculously simple. Some of them maybe not so simple. But the whole idea is to eliminate by high scores and not to eliminate by low scores. So hopefully a lot of you all will know a lot of the answers. And I'm hoping and praying that you enjoy the quiz. Quickly, 25 questions, like I said. All of them have multiple options. So there's an A, B, C, and D. Simple. We can't make it simpler than that, right? You don't have to rack your brains. You have to just choose. If you don't know the answer, toss a coin, right? Or ask somebody next to you which is their name starts with which alphabet and bung it in, right? Do whatever it takes, but do answer the questions. Maybe you will get lucky. And you have to answer the question and then move on. And once you answer the question, you can't go back. Suppose you realized you have made a mistake, you can't go back to the question. So you get 10 seconds to answer the question, and that's it. And I'm immediately after the questions are asked, which will take, whatever, 10 minutes, I will reveal all the answers as well. And the last rule is my best. I love that one. My decision is final and binding. If I don't like your face, you don't get the award, right? So that's the way this will work. So I take all the calls at the end of it. So if the quiz is exciting and fun, it's because of me. If it's not, talk to Vasant. Shall we? Is everybody ready with their OAC app? Is everybody ready? Right? Let's have some fun. I'm going to show you a visual, and you tell me which client did this. Those are your 4 options, and your time starts now. That's it. After this, even if you answer the question after this, please go ahead and do, but your answer won't be counted. That's the time you get for answering the question. So you got to be fast. No time to Google. Next. This you must know. It's very recent. Can you play the track?
बंबई में कुछ लेने से पहले अगर इतना सोचोगे ना तो कोई और ले जाएगा. इससे अच्छा है कि तुम पहले ले लो. बोले दो गेम ओवर.
Which is the brand? I gave you a deadly clue before it came on. I gave you a very good clue to this. Very famous brand. All of them are big out-of-home brands.
बम्बई में कुछ लेने से पहले अगर इतना सोचोगे ना तो कोई और ले जाएगा। इससे अच्छा है कि तुम पहले तो कोई और ले जाएगा।
Don't play it again, it's okay. Next question. It's a visual clue. Identify the brand. These are your 4 options. Your time starts now. I'm dying to give out the answers after this, yeah. He's promised to give me time to look clever after this. Your next clue. I told you some of them will be ridiculously easy. Next. Matthew, you are not allowed to answer this one. All right, let's go to the next question. The Ford display. I'm sure you've seen it. It's just taken over as the world's largest in the Guinness Book of World Record. Just taken over as the world's largest display in the Guinness Book of World Records. So, question number 7. I hope all of you are on 7. If you are on question number 2 or 3 or 4, best of luck. PPE with safe working norms. It's associated with safe working norms. What is PPE? Saurabh, are we good? Are we able to keep pace? Am I too fast? It's all right? You're able to cut it off? Great, fantastic. Your next visual clue. These are your 4 options. I told you some of them will be easy. Question number 9. If you were not asleep when Indrajit was presenting, or if you were not in the room, too bad. If you were in the room and you are not asleep, then you have a chance of cracking this one. If you attended his presentation, that was his first slide. Some more benefits of attending Indrajit's presentation. Okay, your next question, question number 10. Which one won the Cannes Lion Outdoor Grand Prix in 2008? Which of these brands? 2018, sorry. Floor graphics. by one of the largest out-of-home advertisers in 2018. What was the series? Rohan, you are not allowed to answer this question. Okay, question number 12. Mark Flees was here. I couldn't ignore the fact that Mark was here. So I had to do something around Pepe, right? You know this one, then I think you need an Oscar for it. I mean, we've been talking so much. Everybody's excited about going to Dubai and stuff like that. So I thought you should at least know the full form of the organization for which you're planning to go to Dubai for. Question number 13. Simple. In your sleep, you can do this. Tim, you're not allowed to answer this one. Yeah? $14. Tough one, not very easy. I had to find out the answer myself, but yeah, we'll give it a shot. I've said passenger growth rate. I hope somebody bothered reading the question, not number of passengers. It's 15. Mr. Vasant Jante has done a wonderful service by launching this magazine. Rajiv is sitting here. He's the editor of the magazine. Can you tell me when it was launched in its original avatar? Next question is question number 16. I hope all of you are on 16 now. Simple question. You should get this one if you are associated with the out-of-home industry. And no, I won't give you marks for writing private equity. Question number 17. You should know this. It's going to affect all our lives, I promise you, if I know the man, right, at some stage. I love this visual. It really looks like कौन सा company launch करूँ मैं? You know, a lovely expression he has, you know, on his face. I really like this. Question number 18. I told you, some things are going to be very simple. Identify the brand. I've not shown you the logo, obviously, because that will give away the brand, but it was an award-winning outdoor. Next question, question number 20. We are on to our last few questions. You should know this, we deal with it. We are talking about mobile technology so much. What is NFC? Question number 21. The Trump Presidential Twitter Library, it won the Outdoor Award at Cannes this year, and we will talk about it. Which was the channel? If you recognize the man, you will get the channel. It won an award this year at Cannes on the outdoor category. Question number 22, we are reaching our last few questions, right? AR, VR, what's MR? It is not material requisition. Okay, here's your next visual clue. Last 3 questions. I hope your fingers are working furiously, not at Google, but at the app. Which city is this? It was recently beaten by the Ford structure. That's what Guinness has just corrected its records, but till recently, this one held the record. Your penultimate question, ladies and gentlemen. Go for it. May 1st. This happened on May 1st this year. Sponsors of an event should always be respected. Last question, question number 25. Here are your options. We're done, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for participating. Give yourselves a big round of applause. I hope you enjoyed the questions. There were some I know were ridiculously simple, some little more tough, but the whole idea was to keep it a nice mix so that our self-esteem doesn't get hurt, point number 1. And secondly, it's a little competitive. So people with a little more knowledge might pull it off. So thank you once again for participating. And while they are collating the results, shall we quickly go through the answers? Yep. Yeah? Shall we go through the answers quickly? Yeah. Educate ourselves a bit. And to be honest, a lot of these questions I myself had to Google, right? I mean, so it's not as if I knew the answers to a lot of these questions, but since I was the quiz master, I get the opportunity to act a little clever on stage, so I will try and do that. We saw the rules. This was your first clip, if you remember, right? And this was done at the Winter Olympics in 2018 at Pyeongchang, if I'm pronouncing the name of the place right. It got huge amount of mentions, and it was done by Intel, right? Intel did this. It was done in the Winter Olympics this year. Each drone was about 1 foot long and about 8 ounces in weight. They used 1,200 drones. They used 1,200 drones to create this impact for you across, and they created the logo on the stadium with drones with obviously lights on them. So they were, and each of those drones was about 1 foot and about 8 ounces in weight. And it was a visual spectacle at the Winter Olympics. This was, I think, very obvious. If I binge watched it, so I couldn't but have put it on, right? It was Netflix. It was a track from Sacred Games, and it was Nawazuddin Siddiqui's voice telling you a little bit about Bombay. It's one of the iconic lines in the serial. So, and it is one of the most advertised, out-of-home advertised brand in the country over the last 6 months, Netflix. Especially if you're in Bombay, Delhi or Bangalore, you will have Netflix coming out of your ears. Yeah. This was the third one. Wonderful work by Lacoste. Actually, if you notice, it's very difficult for a company to give up its brand logo, right? Their brand logo is the crocodile, but if you notice, these are all endangered species, right? There's a tiger there, there's a rhino there. These are all endangered species. So what they did was they changed their packaging. They changed their company logo to include all these endangered animals, and they changed their packaging, and even on the famous crocodile was replaced by all these endangered animals. As a, that was the whole drive that they had, and again, won a lot of awards. I'm sorry about thank you for cutting off it was Lacoste, and again, it was a Cannes winner. Tough thing for a company to do, to give up its logo, especially an iconic logo. This was, I think, rather easy, right? It was a display. I think, did Laksh do it? I'm not sure. Yes, Laksh has done it. It is on the Bombay-Pune Expressway. Although it was done before, there was a Docomo that actually started this, but I think this was a much more impactful in terms of the way it's been structured and put together, and it takes a huge effort to put up a signage of this size on the street. So especially on the expressway with the wind pressures, etc., etc. So great job, and I think it's quite iconic. Matthew, here's your chance to show off your knowledge. Matthew, tell us a little bit about sheets. No, please do. What is the size of a sheet? Sheets. Yeah. 6-sheeter is 2 square meters. So usually when they talk in sheets, right? And 6 sheets is 2 square meters. Thank you, Matthew. This, I think, pretty simple one as well. It was Madrid, right? All those who have visited Spain recently couldn't have missed it. It's a huge tourist site now. I can tell you, if you go to Madrid, you'll find a lot of people standing under it, below it, in front of it, taking pictures there. So I was there last year, and this was really fascinating to see. It is 5,325 meters in total area, therefore making it the largest one. The one that you will see later, the LG one, is 3,925 square meters. This is 5,325 square meters, and the material that they've used weighs roughly around 2.5 tons. The material that they've used to put up this display. So it's a truly huge effort. It took them 8 days to put this up, 8 days of non-stop working to actually put this up in Madrid. If you're working with a certain kind of clients, this wouldn't have been a problem for you at all, but it is basically on safety equipment for people who are working at heights. It's personal protective equipment. Lots of companies today, not so many in India, a few in India, but I know a lot of companies abroad and a couple in India as well, who are insisting that when you work at heights, you have to have certain protective equipment, and this includes your fasteners, your helmets, your boots, safety boots, non-slip boots, and stuff like that. So it's a whole exercise is in keeping the mounter safe, right? And therefore it is called personal protective equipment. And a lot of clients today are insisting that the people who mount their particular advertising at least should be wearing these. Obvious one, I think it was a good campaign, it was a very visible campaign done by Hotstar. How are we doing so far? Anybody's got all right so far? Anybody's got every single one right so far? One wrong is okay. You got everyone right so far? Yeah. Did you participate in the quiz or after the answers you got it right? Oh, you participated. Oh, good, good. Okay, great. Okay, question number 9. This, I think, if you had been listening to Indrajit's presentation, I was there. I didn't win that 10:15 award because I came in at 10:35, but I was still there at Indrajit's presentation, and that's the year it was officially registered and launched. Yeah, 10 years. He said 10 years at least twice in his presentation. This one was pretty easy. This was this year, of course. It was the McDonald's campaign. I don't know if you all saw it, but it was all over the place, where they, again, you know, the guts of the client to play with his logo. They actually used the arches of the McDonald's for street signages. So they just had one arm of the M showing you the road turns right. And then they had the fork of the M showing you there's a fork coming up. So they actually broke up their logo into bits and made them into street signs and put them across. It was done in the US. It was hugely successful. Again, very risky proposition. It's just the red and the yellow. There's no McDonald's branding. It's just the red and the yellow. And I think they did a wonderful job of using their logo very effectively and converting their logo into a street sign. So there was no other street sign required once they used part of their logo. Again, I think this you would know if you're a Netflix watcher, you would know it's Stranger Things, right? Again, a popular serial on Netflix. This was floor graphics. It was done in a couple of malls in Mumbai. These were 3D floor graphics, actually giving you an impact that you're going into a cave. Yeah, there's somebody saying, I did it. Yeah, good for you. So you should have got that one, right? Good. Mark, this is your moment of glory. Yes. Mark says he doesn't remember, right? Yes, that it is. I'm not going to pronounce it. It's C. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. But that is the right full form of FEPE. It was French in origin, and it was founded by a Frenchman. So therefore the name. And it is the apex body, worldwide apex body for the out-of-home industry. I'm sure a lot of you all have been to the conference. If you haven't, you should. Next year, it's happening in Dubai. It's like as close as it gets for us. So please do try and make it to Dubai next year because it will be worth your while. You'll meet people from across the world, right? More people like Matthew and Tim and Mark and everybody and more people across the world to know what's happening in the out-of-home industry. This was British Airways. I'm sure all of you all, if you are in the industry, you would have heard about this. Yeah, it was a difficult one to execute. So what they actually did was they had an antenna on top of on the board. This was the methodology they used. It was technically a challenge because what used to happen is every time a flight used to take off, a British Airways flight used to take off, this child or children, they used many boys and girls, there were many hoardings across London. The boy would get up and point at that flight and you would get the details of the flight on the left if you say it's BA 272 from San Diego. So actually it's coming in from San Diego when it's arriving, and actually it pointed out and kept changing the message which was the flight landing or taking off. Absolutely amazing, but this is the technology that they used and very much spoken about innovation. This was Surat, 156% growth over last year. All these airports incidentally had very high growths. Vijayawada had a 96% growth. Bhubaneswar had a 80% growth, and Ranchi, of course, the numbers are small, like I said, the numbers are small, but the highest rate of growth, 156% growth in passenger footfall was in Surat. Who got that one right, the Surat one right? Wow. All of you are far more intelligent than I am, because I didn't know the answer to that one. Vasant, please tell us a little bit about your magazine. I think everybody knows about the magazine. I think it's great service that he does for all of us. Outdoor Asia, Rajiv, congratulations for bringing out a magazine and representing our industry month on month, and really bringing alive the issues. Really happy that we have our own magazine in the business, and I think it's only right. I think it's only right that we recognize the fact. We take it for granted because it just lands up on our tables. But I think it's necessary to recognize a lot of hard work goes into producing something like this, and it is a voice of the industry as of now for us. And I think all of us should be aware and be proud of it. It's 2002 is what Vasant tells us in its original avatar as Outdoor Today. As Outdoor Today, it was launched in 2002, and Vasant, it became Outdoor Asia in 2009. In 2009, it became Outdoor Asia, right? But it's an original avatar. Actually, it's been around for what, 15, 16 years now. So, thank you for that. This you should know. Yeah, polyethylene, you're right. And the thing about polyethylene is still we are struggling with it, because although it is recyclable, it is not easily biodegradable. So is it the solution for the challenge that is going to come up in terms of using green material? I'm not so sure. The jury is still out there on that one, whether polyethylene is a solution, whether it will be accepted. The fact is it is recyclable, which is one step ahead of your flex that you're using now. So it's recyclable. It's not easily biodegradable. It's not completely non-biodegradable, but there's a certain process that it has to go through for it to be biodegradable. So is it the answer? We don't know yet, but this is one of the things that the industry is experimenting as we speak on trying to print on polyethylene. I think most of you all, I think, know his email ID. And some of you all have sent him your CV, I'm sure. So you would know that it is S4 Capital, right? And recently he's bought over a digital company as well. Within 2 months of launching S4 Capital, he's bought Media Monks, I think, is the name of the company that he's bought over recently, a digital company, a worldwide digital company. Closer home, right? So I'm sure you knew this. It was a recent acquisition, and it's a good trend for us. It's a good trend for the industry that agencies are being acquired by large networks. So this was the most recent one. And this was KFC, absolutely. This was the hot and spicy burger. This was KFC's hot and spicy burger. They just had a KFC logo on the right hand side corner which said hot and spicy. That's it. It was just the rocket, and it said hot and spicy burger. Probably this is what happens to you when you have the burger. NFC, I'm sure you guys knew what NFC was. It was rather easy, but I think it was important because it is something in retail. For example, NFC is being used apart from payment and etc. Your credit cards and all these, they run on NFC. But also in retail networks, if you go to retail chains now, a lot of the retail networks are using NFC to actually reach you on your mobile. This was Comedy Central. I'm sure you know Trevor Noah, and it was an amazing exercise. They actually created, for 3 days in New York, they created a sort of a museum or a repository of Donald J. Trump's tweets, and there was a red light there. Every time he tweeted, the red light would go on, right, and a fresh tweet would get added, and there were thousands of people visiting this for these 3 days, right. It was created by Comedy Central. The tour guide was Hasan Minhaj. If you are into stand-up, you'll know who Hasan Minhaj is. He's a fabulous stand-up comic, and he's the one who took you on a tour guide of Donald Trump's tweets. Of course, it was laugh a minute riot, like the American president. And so it was good fun. So this is mixed reality. I'm sure it is a mix, like the name suggests, it is physical objects and virtual objects mixed together to give you a more enhanced augmented virtuality kind of experience, because it has got both physical objects and digital mixed together to give you mixed reality experience. I'm going as fast as I can. This was Riyadh, huge structure, like I said, 240 meters wide by 12 meters high. Saudi. Second last question was a tribute to our sponsors, right? That they have won the rights for the metro station in Cochin, right? And this was because I love Nomi Mehta, right? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You can now decide how many of you all got it right, how many of you all didn't get it right, and how many you have cracked. So if some of you all think that you all have won a prize and didn't win a prize, just assume somebody's done better than you, right? So we will tabulate the results now. One announcement I'd like to make. There will be 2 winners. There will be an iPhone 10, I think that's been given away, and an iPad. It's going to be announced in the evening, during the awards or just before the awards, Vasant? During the awards, sometime, maybe just before or just before the awards start. So it will be announced at that time, maybe at 7ish in the evening. If you are not here at that time, you don't get your prize. So if you have booked your ticket, please cancel it, provided you have done well. You think you've done well in the quiz, please cancel your return ticket and stay back, because you might win an iPhone 10, slightly more expensive than your return ticket, I promise you. Unless you're going to Brazil, of course. Then, of course, that will be more expensive. But the point I'm making is, if you're not here, then it goes to the next person. So it's important that you're here. You now know how you've done. You know the answers. If your answer is, you think you've got a very good chance of winning, please stay back and collect your prize. An iPhone 10 is definitely worth staying back for, and so is an iPad, right? So see you in the evening for the results. I enjoyed doing the quiz. I hope you enjoyed participating in it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, making sure that we were completely glued in. Thank you so much. Please put your hands together for our quiz master, Mr. Suresh Balakrishnan. Whoa. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.